Rep to Spirit of the Law, Ein Gimel, Tes. Uman Goy, She'osa Malbus B'Shvi Yisrael. Ve'yaviru lo b'Shabbos, mutar lo labshay. A Goy who's a...
There's another one there.
Page 252.
It's fine, I don't know. It's fine.
A Goy who is a Uman, he's a craftsman, who made a garment for a Jew, and brought it on Shabbos. You can put it on Shabbos. If you finish it at Shabbos, it's not so good. You shouldn't put it on except for if you have a really pressing need. You're not going to his store or his house where people know he's a craftsman. He gives you shoes. Oh, I can't get the shoes. People say, well, you bought your shoes on Shabbos. That's what people will say. Even a Yiddish person, a Jew who's a craftsman, people are afraid his store also is not, or his house is not very proper. People come to get their things from him. Well, people think you had to make it on Shabbos. The guy who's not a craftsman himself, he doesn't make things. It's not a store. It's not a shoe making store or a shoe making house. He just has a store where he sells shoes sitting all week long. He goes in and said, no, he just gave him his shoes and pay him after Shabbos. He didn't make it for him on Shabbos. It's not a matter of making it. It's only if you don't make out a particular price. Say, I'll give you 200 shekels for the no, 150. You're not supposed to know the price. Whatever it works out after Shabbos. It should be something that you just got a delivery that day from out of the city. It's from Shabbos. You're not allowed to use anything bought from out of Shabbos. You can't use these shoes either. But you can't use the shoes either. So, as usual, we're going to do a little bit of the understanding what's behind this drop. But you can see this, Moshe Kochaim explains this in a very, very powerful way. He has to have made up the moment the guy is doing it for, like he has things set up, or they made something up clearly, the guy is doing it for his own motivations, and everyone understands that, it's mutter. So he says, the Maisa, we have, it's our job to pick up the Yetzirah. That's what we need to do. Every person has his minus, has his negative, and then he's got to bring Hashem into his life, into who he is. So, for example, that's what through the Zohar things, but in many places, this idea that we put on the Shin, Dalet, and Yud, right? So Shin Dalet spells one thing, right? It spells not even shmaka thing. Every person says this, says right. Commercial coffee shade. Gemara says the beginning of a person who's dealing with the taivus is the beginning of this something. Not such a good something. Every person has a nefesh Bahamas, like the Shloch Kodesh brings. Every person has a nefesh Bahamas. To the really, the Haggadah brings before Shon, I've said it very much. This kind of very deeply explained that the concept of every person has the nefesh which is good, the nefesh which is not so good. So, in terms of the nefesh, it's like the Bechin of Shindala that every person, Chas v'Shalom, has to overcome. We need to take the Yud and put it into has to go into this place. It has to change around from Shin Dalet. The person feels like he's under who knows what, to Shakai. And that Shakai means also limitations, by definition. Shakai means it's limited. Hashem said enough. Don't expand anymore, no more, no. That means a person has to have limits, certain limits. Right. Where my thoughts go, where my thoughts don't go.
That's someone's like where shade is just a kind of thing. That's what shade is.
Kind of. If it's good, then it's so shade with the yud. Right. If it's not good, you're missing the yud. It's not sufficient. Right. That's the problem. Because it's forming things that are not so good. That's what a person thinks bad things. He's doing things. Right. It's not good. That's why if a person thinking he should Torah, learning a little more enthusiasm, doing something new, is all a ticking for bad thoughts. Because then it's forming good malachim. Otherwise, it's forming the other side of malachim. That's what am I thinking? What are my thoughts are? What I want? Where am I going? That's it. We have to try to change the Yitzhahara, use the negative, this nefesh Bahamas that every person has for good. Person can either be a fire on Hashem, fire for Hashem, or can be fire, who knows what. Fire, what are you firing for? You're supposed to use a fire, not the fire. Everyone has their own kochos, their own inyan, and they have to learn how to limit things, how to use it properly. So that's this inyan of the Yitzhak, when everything's, when it's cut, when it's worked out, when it's clear, there are clear limitations. The guy has a store, everyone understands, it's not, you're dealing with the physical parts of life, the material, in order to in order to for Yisha, not Chashom to be Mechal Shabbos, but to build the next world. Mechal Shabbos always means it's ideal to feed the Mubachim. Always means connecting to the Meir Haba, Shas Meir Haba, connecting to Haba, connecting to building on my place of Eden. I'm doing things in a way that's not. I don't want to. A person's not supposed to be really preoccupied with the business. He's supposed to be preoccupied with connecting to Hashem. And even if he's really deeply involved in business, the Rebbe says he's supposed to be thinking about stuck up for the money, I'll family, or whatever I'm doing, I'll help this, I'll do this, I'll be able to learn, whatever it is he's supposed to have in his thoughts. The Chayyadim, he wrote Chacham Sodom, so he says, he writes an introduction. These people are definitely going to say, what is this guy writing a halacha sefer for? I mean, we know him, he's some merchant going around to fairs, buying and selling. What are you writing a halacha book? I mean, you're not some big rabbi, you're some guy. Why are you different than me? So the Chayyadim says, you should know, I never went a day without learning 3 or 4 daf Gemashi, Tus Viyun, and many Mishnayos. He said, I never, ever went any time without thinking and learning. At least the 6 minutes medias, and if not, the Mamash and Kasha, Teretz, I was always thinking and learning. Then when a person wants a Teretz, so it's like, it says like the Gemara uses the marshal of a woman who wants children, even if she's 10 years or more without, so she can have. The person who forgets about it, it's much harder. The same idea when a person is yearning, it's what's very important. Rabbi Yoel says, no, he says a person who wants to be a chacham, loves chachamim, wants to be a chacham, he's already a chacham. He doesn't get there. It might take him time. He'll get it. Up to what you want. Yeah, exactly. He's getting there. Again, don't ask him about psak halacha yet, because he started one daf Mishnah Berurah. He started the Mishnah Berurah Yomi again. Chaznish Mishnah Berurah Yomi just started a few days ago.
Can be a tzaddik also.
Huh?
Tzaddik.
Yeah, he's a tzaddik, but no, he's
no, I'm saying to do tshuva in a minute and he's a tzaddik.
No, b'china b'tzaddik. Either yes or no, but if he really loves chachamim, that's he's already b'china b'chachamim, because he's going to get it. He's going to get as much as he can. And in fact, that's what the Maral says, why we light candles since it's a school to have children to be chachamim. The Maral says, why not you be a tan chacham? Why children? It's a little strange. Like if you or Torah, but you don't get it. If you have children to see how this runs, they will have the R's. What about you? What about me? Why are you skipping me? So the Maral says, no. The Maral says,
the mother.
Huh?
The mother.
That's a good shot, good mahal. But the problem with that is, one problem is, it says also there's Chanukah. The problem number 2 is, why not the husband? Why not her children? But it's a thought. It's not the thought if it's already there Chanukah. But it doesn't say, it says also there Chanukah.
She should light that her husband should be a Talmud.
Yeah, but it says there, why not? It says that for children.
So he cares more for children.
And Abba cares more not. They could also be. Why is skipping me? It's husband and children. Why not? What I do wrong? What I do? We'll do Abdullah on wine. The Gemara says, about wine. That also brings to having children. What? I have to light candles to be for me. Why do I have to be? So the Maral explains. He says it means even a person who's not himself really fitting, he's not right, he's not holding the place where you give me a tapachim now. There's such a thing. Don't tell Rosh Hashivas, I'm sorry, but the Maral already says it's such a bechina where a person, he's not really cut out to be in the middle of the door right now. It's possible maybe to expand his neshama. The Shanta says, others say, the bechina bring in, you work so hard with his nefesh, they bring in a big doilim that came out of Mamashig. You know, Chaim Kineshki said his memory wasn't so great when he was young, when he just sat and learned until he got it. People weren't so brilliant, and they sat and the whole life was Torah, and it came in big brachas. So it's called expanding with the shama, but it doesn't mean that he's mechuyev mamash to make that effort. If he does it, it's not that he has to be that way. So the Maral says, if a person's really not cut out for it right now, for whatever reason, he doesn't have the koach to become a chacham, at least let the kid be a chacham. So that's the same idea, the same concept that a person has, he gets a koyach, he connects to the Torah, he wants that yud, we need that yud, that's what we need. We need to have a limitation, the person has to be focused on ruchnius, on dusha, on holiness, not on nonsense. And one of the ways a person, how can I overcome it? They say, okay, very nice, but sometimes a person feels like I am in the Bechina Chashem of Shinda, so what do I do? What do I do now? Unfortunately, the Nefesh Muhammad sometimes takes me over and I'm in trouble. Marcos Paro, I'm not in a good place. What now? How do I get over this? I want to deal with this. What do I do to myself? The first thing Rav Nosson says is you have to focus very, very much on chizik. Very, very, very much. We'll see a letter. These letters are so beautiful. I try to not do it one day without seeing one. And Cheryl said there's a certain way even deeper chizik than Mishuz. It's very different, very interesting, very powerful. The first thing is getting the chizik right. To know that it still counts and there's no English one cloud means me also. Doesn't mean just him. Everyone thinks anybody's me. No, I'm exception. I'm exception. I have my chances. It's over. It's too late. fine, what can you do? No, okay. That's all not true though, that's not true. It's no such thing. It's not for anyone. It's not for anyone, it's not for us, it's not for no such thing. He didn't mean, like Dustin, they will see the letter, he says, you and any worse than you also. Not only something, not only me, anybody. And he lived nothing else, like I always say, he says, showing his power year. It's like, no matter what, no matter how it happened, whatever it is, there's no years, there's no such thing as really giving up, there's no such thing that can't end, there's no such thing. That's first of all, don't still count. And second of all, like that's what Rabbi Yochanan says, he says you have to be very careful to try to take on a Kabbalah of something which you can do. And do it. And slowly build on that. And I have to know that whenever I'm overcoming, whenever I'm moving ahead with Mitzvah, it's like a spring. Like what Leo says, it's like a spring, sort of. So it's very careful not to let if the spring opens it bursts. Be very careful to tighten it properly, slowly, and try. That's the thing of having, say, you're having a person. Yeah, exactly. That's why Rav Sislanta says it brings it's not Rav Nosson, I think, right? The famous story that Rav Kiva was going and he saw this rock, right? He sees the dripping, rocks dripping on there's water dripping on a rock. Dripping made a hole. So if you drip on a rock, the hole will do the same on my heart. Totally can affect my heart. So he says, once it's very interesting, it's like the Lashon area says he decided to go back to learn. We say, oh, he went to Aleph Beis. It's not so clear. He did say there's I think it should go. There is a message that says, I'll be with the little kids, you know better than I do with learning. So his wife said, okay, go with them. She gave him she found some kind of donkey or something, these mini camels, and he had a few humps, and she put like a flower pot in it. She said, go 3 days. Do me a favor, you're my husband, you love me, right? Go 3 days with this animal in the market. First day he came home, she knew what happened. He said, everyone laughed at me. I was like the laughing stock of the whole town. Everyone thought I was the biggest comedy act ever, and people, children following me around, and it was the worst. So now you go again. Went again another time. He came home, she knew what happened. So they still laughed at me, but it was much less than yesterday. The third day, no one even paid attention. Not anyone cared. It was like, oh, that, this guy's a nutcase. He brings his crazy person, he brings his guys, whatever the thing was.
What was he doing, the camel?
I don't know, it said humps, but it was flowers on a flower pot on it. Some flowers, it was a very strange mice of it, a very strange situation. So I have the ability I have to say, that's what she said, you'll sit with younger people, so it'll take a few days and they'll forget about you, they're not going to care. I wasn't taking already, 3 days, same thing, it was a big deal. He was willing to go. She said, it wasn't a he was going to start with fun, people much younger than he was already 40 years old. But it doesn't necessarily mean literally out of base. He went back to it. So Rishoslanta says, Rishoslanta says, when Kiva, he was miyayish. He said, I try to learn, and I don't see it changing me. The Shindala is alive and well, he doesn't care. So the Torah is not affecting me. Maybe I'm just effective, I don't know, whatever. I can't learn, it's not doing it right, I don't know, what can I say? Until I saw the rock. I said, no, it was affecting me, I just didn't see the effect. He said, there's nothing that makes less of an effect than a drop of water on a rock. Don't show me a sign. Like nothing. Even a word, maybe it's precipitation stage, I don't know, you got in, something. Nothing. There's nothing that seems to be doing absolutely, making no effect. So you can say, I didn't give enough time. I didn't give enough time. I have to work on it. That's the stipler. Famously, people came to the stiplers and said, you have 5 years without bracha and learning, you're not going to be on tzliach. I'll say, no, I'm learning even longer. I didn't get anywhere. Steps, and listen, my friend, get things together, start really learning, and then you'll be able to see if you're. Doesn't mean you don't come to Seder. It's not shot, so you have to get it together so you're able to really learn. There's necessarily to be Kabbalah of something which you really can keep, and this is best, and this is best. That's one of the best ways. If Chasson principle, just start again, but that's the thinking of a person. I'm trying very much. I'm having dealing with this the guy type, the Shindalin person. I want to put that yud in. I want to put the yud in, so you can use even this garment, even the garment. I'm basically what he's forming. What the purpose of this thing, these inyanim, they have to become a garment which I can wear on Shabbos. That's the idea. It's mutter to wear on Shabbos. So there's no mechin malacha done. No, it's not done in a way that's going to violate Shabbos at all. Whatever it's done in a way that's uplifting and helping me come to the next world, and not a stira on attaining the next world. That's a little bit what's in this Allah.